posted to our webpage for your view. All of our meetings are public and visitors are welcome. Mrs. Camphouse, would you call the roll, please?
Ms. Ballard. Present. Mrs. Rarica.
Present.
Mr. Taylor. Mr. Atwood.
Present.
And Mrs. Cole.
Present. All right, if you would stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 1.04 on the agenda tonight is the adoption of our agenda. Do I have a motion?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mrs. Camphouse?
Ms. Ballard.
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica.
Yes.
Mr. Atwood.
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes. Item 1.05, here we have the minutes from the Finance Committee meeting on February 13th. 1.06, we have the minutes from our regular meeting on February the 13th. 1.07, we have minutes from the Finance Committee meeting. And 1.08, we have the minutes from the committee meeting on March 4th. And I'm sorry, I don't think I said the 1.07 was the Finance Committee also on March 4th. Do I have a motion to approve 1.05 through 1.08?
A motion?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mrs. Camphouse?
Ms. Ballard.
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica.
Yes.
Mr. Atwood.
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes. All right, with that approved, we can move on to our presentation section. To start off this section, I am going to turn the floor over to our superintendent, Mrs. Ronan.
Oh, thank you, Madam President. What I would like to do, our Board of Education has their own rising star, or actually she is a star, and that is Amber Ballard. And Amber is going to actually be passing out the certificates to all the student rising stars. However, I want everyone to know that she received from the Ohio School Boards Association the Master Board Member Award. And we have some pictures. The board president and I traveled to the event. We had dinner and where she received her award. So at this time, I'd like a big round of applause for our board star, Amber Ballard. And one more thing before we get to the Rising Stars. Since you're all here tonight, we wanted to announce our spring concert is at 7 o'clock tonight in the middle school auditorium. So if you're walking past that way to your cars, please stop in and see our great students. So thank you. All right, Amber, are you ready to go? And we're going to start with our first Rising Star. And we have Mrs. Chesson who's going to come down and read all about our stars.
Thank you so much. When I call your name, students, we hope that you will come forward, receive your certificate, and stand up here for some nice recognition. And then you're going to have a nice picture with the board members as well. So we're going to start out with Sharpsburg Elementary, Rising Star Jack Kaladi. Congratulations, Jack. You're going to go over to Miss Ballard. She's going to give you a certificate. Jack is a shining example of kindness and perseverance. He consistently makes positive choices, treating his classmates and teachers with so much respect. He's always willing to lend a helping hand. His positive attitude is contagious, bringing joy and enthusiasm to our learning environment. Jack has also made wonderful progress academically and continues to show dedication and a strong work ethic. His eagerness to learn and his determination to do his best make him a true role model for his peers. Keep up the extraordinary work, Jack. Congratulations. Stay right there, Jack. You're going to stay right there, and other people will join you. All right, to join Jack, we have our next rising star.
Okay, Norwood View. Oh, you could stay out there.
You'll have some friends, I promise.
Norwood View Elementary Rising Star is Kayla Cornett. Kayla is a kind and fair friend. She looks out for everyone, always presenting another's point of view for us all to consider. She is wise beyond her years. In the classroom, Kayla puts forth consistent effort. She works hard by asking questions of the teacher when needed and turns in quality work. She will check her own understanding while also being willing to work independently. We are proud of Kayla growing into a wonderful, articulate young lady who is represented by her third grade peers and teachers. By her third grade peers and teachers. Congratulations, Kayla, on being Norwood View's Rising Star.
Williams Avenue Elementary Rising Star, Margot Broad. This amazing second grader is not only a PACS leader, but displays hard work and dedication each day. Margot is a great friend to others and has an infectious smile. She's a role model in the classroom and a great helper. She comes to school prepared and ready to learn. She always puts forth her best effort and is intrinsically motivated. She takes pride in her work and is a great artist. Her favorite subject is math. When she grows up, she wants to become a vet. She is most looking forward to working with hamsters, rabbits, and bunnies. She said she loves second grade because it's challenging and she never gives up. We are so honored to have Margot as a part of our Wildcat family. Congratulations on all your achievements.
The Norwood Montessori School Rising Star is Avi Gomberg. It is with great pride that the Norwood Montessori School presents Avi as our rising star. Avi is a leader amongst our first graders, exemplifying what it means to be a Montessorian by taking care of himself, all living things, and our environment. Another trait that Avi possesses is empathy towards his classmates. As a learner, he is always at work, moving from one activity to another while maintaining his concentration. He enjoys researching as well as using his creativeness to show what he's learned by making posters. Avi is an amazing Montessorian, and we are looking forward to watching him continue to shine brightly for all to see. Congratulations.
Norwood Middle School Rising Star, Jayana Hubbard. We're going to still say some nice things about Jayana. Sixth grader Jayana arrives at school every morning in a good mood and greets everyone with a smile. She is polite, caring, and an energetic young lady. She wants to be a teacher when she grows up. Her teachers are so impressed with her hard work and her positive attitude. When not in school, Jayana likes to draw, play basketball, and play with her dog Wednesday. Jayana is a wonderful young lady, and we're delighted to have her as our rising star at the middle school. Congratulations.
Norwood High School Rising Star, Ethan Reyes Villanueva. Ethan is an amazing student and young man. His attitude, personality, and academic skills are at a superior level for a student his age. Ethan is always positive and happy and has made great strides in his short time at NHS. He is the student that volunteers to help the newcomers in the English language program. He is happy to give tours, help with computer skills and issues, and to be a friend. We are excited to see what he can do in the next 3 years and what he will give back to Norwood to make us an even more successful community. Ethan truly is a star on the rise. Congratulations.
Norwood District Athletic Rising Star, Nadine Segrist Bellama. Nadine is a 3-sport athlete, and if we want to be technical, a 4-sport athlete because she also played soccer her freshman year. As a member of the girls' varsity basketball team this season, she averaged 9.3 points, 8 rebounds, and 1.6 steals per game. Nadine earned all Miami Valley Conference honors as an honorable mention selection and a second-team District 15. We expect Nadine to be a key contributor in whatever sport she decides to play. Hopefully, we will see her starring at the next level as a collegiate student athlete because her potential is limitless. Congratulations.
District Creative Arts Rising Star, Eli Ham. Eli is the Norwood Band Program's Rising Star for March. Eli is our one and only tuba player in our concert band. He has also been in the marching band for 4 years as a sousaphone player. Eli is a solid rock in our program and has become a great tuba player. Eli is the example of a respectful, engaged, and wonderful student. He plans on attending the University of Cincinnati and also plans to join the Marching Bearcats as a sousaphone player. We look forward to cheering for Eli at a UC game next year. Congratulations.
And for our district staff Rising Star, Therese Booth is going to come up and help us do the honors for that. Mrs. Booth? So our district staff Rising Star is Stevie Robbins.
Thank you, Ms. Chesson. Stevie continues to strive for excellence in everything he does. He is kind, caring, and always so eager to help others. Stevie's bright smile, gentle nature, along with his can-do mindset are noticed and appreciated by all. He has a strong work ethic, which is evident in the extra-mile effort that he puts forth in the assignments he completes each day. Stevie's attention to detail, over-the-top enthusiasm, and an ability to make connections with our students and staff are trademarks of his winning personality. He comes to school each and every day ready to serve in many different capacities and locations, including indoor and outside areas of the building. Stevie is a person of high moral character, and we are grateful for all that he does to contribute to the positive culture of our school family. One of the most common responses we hear over the radio when Stevie's assistance is needed will make anyone smile. He often replies with, "I've got you covered." Stevie is one of the reasons why Norwood City Schools is so great. Thank you, Stevie.
At this time, our board members are going to come around and congratulate each of you. So just stay where you are. Yeah, I know. Yeah, thanks, Stevie.
Okay, we ready? 1, 2, 3. Take another one. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Thank you.
Congratulations again to our Rising Stars. At this time, the Rising Stars and all their family and friends that came, please follow Miss Havlin in the pretty red sweater out to the lobby. She's going to do some more pictures. We so appreciate you being here. Have a great evening, everyone.
It's nice to meet you.
So Mr. Taylor couldn't be here tonight, but when Eli received his award, As our tuba player, I had to recall that Mr. Taylor, at a football game, shared some knowledge. He asked us if we knew the difference between a tuba and a sousaphone, and I did not, so he went on a little speech about the difference in that. So when our tuba player said he was going to be playing the sousaphone at UC, I thought, Mr. Taylor would know what that means. He knows the difference.
And the difference is the sousaphone is the really big one
one.
that everybody thinks is the tuba, and the tuba is more this thing that's, and it kind of comes out on the side, and it's smaller.
So, yeah.
But
So
that big thing is the I just learned that this year, too.
So the dotting the I is the sousaphone.
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing that everybody thinks is the tuba.
Yeah.
is this
Sousaphone.
really a sousaphone?
And I sat next to the Bearcat sousaphones when they came to
Yeah,
our
yeah,
game,
yeah.
and they were so cute, and they were so much fun.
Yes.
So he will have so much fun with them.
So now you all know, if you're ever in need to know that. All right.
We could do a dance for it.
So item 3 on the agenda, this is personnel superintendent recommendations. So at this time, I will turn the floor over to Superintendent Mrs. Ronan.
Thank you, Madam President. 3.01 retirements. We do have 2 individuals who will be leaving us at the end of this school year. Karen Dilly, a wonderful art teacher, and Terry Havlin, the superintendent secretary, who was just here a moment ago. She's here at all the board meetings, and she's out in the lobby taking pictures, so she will be greatly missed.
Happy
Next-
retirement.
Yes.
I
Next-
heard it wasn't allowed. Nope.
I know, I don't
Too
want
valuable.
either of those retiring.
I need to demand a vote.
Indeed.
I vote no.
All right, 3.02 employment. Well, we'd like to welcome 5 new teachers for next year, and it's great that we just met one and another one earlier today. So we'd like to extend a big welcome. Welcome to Norwood. And then we also have several student aides we are hiring. I believe also our new HVAC individual has started to work to help us out. And then Avenues has someone who's being promoted to assistant site coordinator. And as you can see, we are starting to hire our summer school staff, also our kindergarten camp for August. And in item 2, we have some supplementals for the spring play and for our prom. And we also have an individual going out on leave. And then under item 4, these are our pupil activity contracts, and a lot of them this time are in fine arts, spring sports, and also football for next year. And we do have several resignations right under that, and as you can see above it, we have found replacements for them. So thank you, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mrs. Ronan. Do I have a motion to approve 3.01 through 3.02, sub-items 1 through 4?
All motion?
All second.
Any discussion?
No one's allowed to retire. We're joking.
Mrs. Camp House?
Ms. Ballard? Yes. Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes. All right, with that approved, we can move on. Item 4, this is our Education Committee, and I will turn it over to Mrs. Rarica.
Thank you, Madam President. We have a lot of field trips, which Madam President reminded me it must be the end of the school year, and I'm like, oh my word. I can't believe we're there, but yes, it's the end of the school year, and we have a lot of field trips. Norwood High School going to Shepherd Chemical, Norwood High School going to George Rogers Clark High School. Oh, the band is going. And Sharpsburg going to Green Acres. Norwood High School going to Crohn's. Oh, good job. I love that place. Norwood View going to Children's Theater. Norwood View going to Farbach Warner Nature Preserve. Norwood View going to Main Event. Norwood Montessori, the Cincinnati Nature Center. Oh, that's where I spent my baby years. And the Norwood Montessori School going to the Norwood Library. Norwood View to La Rosa's. Norwood High School and the middle school going to Kings Island. Oh, yes. I think the band and the orchestra do that. I'll be going there with them. And Sharpsburg going to La Rosa's. And should we vote on both things at the end or each one separately? Both at the same time?
Both is fine.
Yes, okay, just one vote. Okay, so the next thing we have is a resolution in support of the full implementation of the Fair School Funding Plan. And so the state has to vote on a budget every year, and the way they fund schools is incredibly complicated, and they're always changing things. And so this particular one, we are saying that we like it, and we really would like them to pass it. So it's called the Fair School Funding Plan. It was created by different districts statewide and some experts, and has overwhelming support of the education community and many lawmakers from around the state, and lots of other good things in this resolution that we are saying yes to the Fair School Funding Plan. Okay. I move that we accept or pass 4.01 and 4.02, our field trips and resolution.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Nobody wants to say anything about fair school funding?
Well, I know that if we wanted a little bit of expansion, the Fair School Funding Act was already agreed upon, and we are supposed to have 2 more years under the existing plan, and it is now potentially being changed, to put it lightly. So we are hoping that at the very minimum, that they will honor the remaining 2 years that were on that original agreement, so that we at least have time to plan for future financial planning. It was part of our 5-year forecast, and with losing 2 years suddenly on that 5-year forecast, it's going to hit a lot of districts, especially smaller ones like ours. So we really hope that they take that into consideration.
I didn't realize that 2-year thing, so thank you for that bit of info.
Yeah, they were doing it in increments, and 2 more years of that plan were supposed to begin, I believe, in the next school year, in July, yeah, for next year.
So the first 4 years of that, the Fair School Funding Plan was partially funded. It wasn't fully funded.
Right.
So they were phasing it in. So this biennium budget was supposed to be the beginning of the full implementation of that, and that's what's currently in controversy up in Columbus.
Right.
So we're in support of fully funding the Fair School Funding Plan.
And you can do this too. It doesn't have to just be school boards saying that they like the Fair School Funding Act. You can call your state representatives. If you live in Norwood, your state representative is Catherine Ingram. You can let her know if you like it or don't like it. I'm not saying which way you should feel. And then our other person, his name is,
Cecil Thomas?
you know what, it was Cecil Thomas,
It
but we
was.
have a new person.
Dunny Isaacson is in our neighboring district, but he's also in Cincinnati.
Right, I can remember his name.
And he worked on the finance committee as well. He's pretty versed on this, and you can always reach out to
Just
Dunny. He is local to
Call,
Cincinnati,
send a postcard.
and he supports it, so.
I know our guy's name starts with a D. It's like Damien. I'll look it up when we're doing, when you guys are doing something else.
Anything else? Mrs. Camp House?
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes. All right, item 5 on the agenda, this is Policy Committee, and Mr. Taylor is not here, so I will turn it over to Ms. Ballard, who is going to fill in for Mr. Taylor.
Thank you, Madam President. We have 2 policies listed for approval this evening. First one is Section B. It's a school board governance and operations in relation to executive session. The second is Section E, support services, covering cybersecurity. These will be the first reading of both. I'd like to make a motion that we accept the first reading, which is in board docs for your perusal. If you'd like me to read them into
It's
record.
the second.
Oh,
the
it
second
says
reading.
first on the
Oh,
document.
it does?
I'm sorry. Yeah, it says status first reading.
Oh, yeah, that's a typo, it should be second.
No problem, sorry about that.
That's all right.
So, second reading, thank you. If you would like me to read it again, I can, but it is in board docs if you'd like to just read it on your own, since apparently, yes, this is the one that we did discuss last time.
Ooh. I got our guy.
Do I have a motion?
I motioned.
Oh, you motioned.
I'll
Do I have a
second.
Yeah.
Any discussion?
Slightly unrelated, our other representative is Cedric Denson.
Denson, that's right.
And here's a picture of him. Cedric Denson.
Anything else? All right, Mrs. Campos?
Ms. Ballard,
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica,
Yes.
Mr. Atwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes. All right, so with that, those policies have been approved with the second reading. All right, item 6 on the agenda, this is building and grounds, and I will turn it back over to Ms. Ballard.
Thank you, Madam President. Before I read off these, I do have a new little thing, thanks to John Peter. He gave me a buildings and grounds report to read off, and it just kind of gives us a little bit of an update on where we are with repairs and construction updates and things like that, that we'll try to add in to give our public an idea of what's happening in their buildings. So thank you, Mr. Peter, for putting this together. I really appreciate it. So first up, the contracted repairs. Guyler was on site to replace reversing valves for rooftop heat pump at Sharpsburg Primary. This is necessary when it comes time for refrigerant to switch from heating to cooling modes. The part itself was still under warranty, but the labor to replace the part was unfortunately outside of warranty period, so there was a minor expense there. Elite Air was on site at the high school to replace a blower motor in Air Handler Unit 3, serving the gym, boardroom, and planetarium, or band room, and planetarium. This motor and labor were both past warranty period. There are about 6 blowers that serve those areas, so they continue to have heat and cooling before the motor replacement was completed. Repairs that were conducted by our Norwood facility staff. During the latest snow event, one of the plows was damaged, so we were able to weld the damaged plow back together to get it fixed for our next snowfall use, which hopefully will not be until next year. Most of the guys are ready to be done with the snow and ice removal. Bearings have been replaced on 4 rooftop DOAS, which is dedicated outside air systems, energy wheel units. These units will bring outside air into the buildings and heat the air before it's sent down into the occupied spaces. As the warmer air is exhausted into the building, or out of the building, it goes through these energy wheels, and the wheels are warmed. As the wheels spin, incoming outside air is warmed and saving energy.
Wow.
4 igniters and an ignition controller have been replaced on the DOAS units at Sharpsburg Elementary, and the high school cooling tower has been checked and cleaned and has started up several times to bring cool air into the high school during warmer days that we've had here in March. And in preparing for our spring sports season, the home run fence was installed by the softball field at the high school by Norwood staff. Weed killer was sprayed on both Millcrest and softball fields. Nets have been put out for the track events at Shea Stadium, and the mowing equipment has been prepared for the athletic fields as well as all school grounds. So we're very excited about those upcoming sports being ready. So thank you, Mr. Peter, for giving me that update. The other items that I have are for usage. The first up, we have Norwood Fire Department, the fire candidates agility test. They are looking to use Shea Stadium, the stands track, and visitor locker room on March 28th from 7 to 7. They have a rain date of April 4th. Second item is the Norwood Knot Hole for their opening day at Shea Stadium on April 5th from 10 to 12 with a rain day of April 12th. Let's see here. Third usage request is for the Cincinnati Reds Community Fund using the high school softball field and Upper Millcrest ball fields, various dates between March and July of this year. The fourth request is Nike using the high school gym for an activation event for employees of Dick's Sporting Goods, Thursday, March 27th in the evening from 6 to 9. The fifth request is for the Norwood Barracudas to use the high school pool for swim team practice, Saturdays mid-March through May 17th, 10 to 12. I'd like to make a motion that we approve these requests as presented.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
I really
I
like,
like the, sorry.
go ahead.
Yeah, I like the report on the building.
Well, I figure it's about our buildings and the grounds.
I
Well,
really like
The buildings
report.
and grounds play seem to make the most sense.
And I'm sure a lot of people out there are interested in those kinds of things. I really appreciated the one where it said, and then when the air, it doesn't go out, it goes through some turbines that get warmed up, and then they do a thing, and I was like, oh, that's really nice.
But it's
So,
nice
I really
to know
liked
that
it.
they're being taken care of, and folks need to know these kind of things,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's a big item too, like, hey, if our construction is gonna impact, parking or, drop-off or something like that. These kind of things need to be in these reports, and I appreciate him coming and putting that together with me for that little brainchild, so that we can put that out there in an informative manner, so.
Anything else? Mrs. Camp House?
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor? I'm sorry, Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
And Mrs. Cole?
Yes. All right, with that approved, we can move on to item 7. This is the Finance Committee. So I will ask Treasurer Mrs. Camp House to give us the update.
Thank you, Madam President. The CFO report, monthly financials, and change order listings are attached for your approval on 7.01. 7.02 is the appropriation resolution, which is our current budget. 7.03, donations, 2 donations, one from Kroger for Avenues for Success, and one from Mrs. Rarica to the orchestra. 7.04, Williams beautification bid opening. We had 3 contractors show up for our bid opening March 18th, and I'm happy to say that our lowest bidder came in below estimated. Perkins Carmack Construction was our lowest bidder, and they have been in business for over 21 years. They've experienced in public projects and with school districts. We will be accepting alternate number 1 also, which is to create the welcome area by the front of Williams Avenue Elementary. Also attached is our engineer's recommendation to accept the contractor as our winning bid. On 7.05, Peterman contract, after a complete request for proposal process, I'm happy to recommend a 3-year contract with Peterman Transportation. Peterman has been a great partner in education, and we look forward to working with them in the future. 7.06 is a resolution that needs voted on its own, so I will ask the board to consider 7.01 through 7.05 at this time.
Madam President, if I could, I'd like to make a motion to accept items 7.01 through 7.05 as presented.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I'm very happy with how the bids came out for the beautification project. Even the ones that we're not accepting, they were very close to the estimate, which I was happy with.
I agree.
Anything else? I know we're all anxious to get that going. All right, Mrs. Camp House?
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes. And then continuing on with 7.06.
Thank you. And 7.06, a resolution to authorize filing of Board of Revision complaint. This Board of Revision original complaint is following a sale of a commercial property. This property sold for $4.4 million and is on the county auditor books for $3.256. So we are requesting that the auditor increase the value to the sales price through the Board of Revision process. Our attorney will handle the complaint process from here on out.
Do I have a motion for 7.06?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All right, Mrs. Camp House?
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes. Item 8 is the hearing of the public, and we do not have anybody here that wishes to speak. So we can move on to the reports section, which is item 9 on the agenda. So 9.01, board announcements. So I will open it up for any board member that would like to share.
I got a really cool one, and I tried to squeeze in some photos, but it was too late. Today was the 4th graders' Bulldog dance at Sharpsburg, and I got to attend and take pictures and see all the kids dance, and it was awesome. We have a new teacher this year, Miss Mary, and she did a fantastic job with the kids. There are some pictures, yay. So the Bulldog Boogie, we got to do some dance. That the lady in black there, that's our wonderful instructor. But I did get some final pictures of all the kids got their little medals for participating and a prize from them, and they got to present her with a giant signed thank you card and flowers today. It was so awesome. I'm really happy with continuing this program and so grateful to Tina for supporting it. Hopefully we'll have some pictures to share for next month for you, because I sent them to Terry already, so you have them.
Oh, thank you.
I sent them. So that was fun. And also to let you know, they will be having their spring musical, and they also have their carnival coming up on May 5th. So that's a big deal. So if you want to come out to Sharpsburg for their carnival, that's on May 5th.
I was going to say the instructor kind of looks like Mrs. Akers. So when you said,
Yeah.
Kind of,
like,
yeah.
I thought that was her, and then when you said that was the instructor. Now, did this take the place of the guy who used to come in and teach? Is this instead
Yes,
of that?
Mr. Budd. So Mary actually volunteered her time. She works at another studio, and she volunteered her time to come in with our fourth graders. The structure was a little different this year, which is why I didn't get to hear about it as soon. Instead of doing it over the course of a few weeks, they did it every day for 2 weeks. So it's still the same amount of days, just scrunched down. And at the end of that period, which is this week, they came together and did their little showcase event. So the kids got to dress up if they wanted to, come in and show off for parents. And they had a full house today with all kinds of folks, family members, to come out and support them. It was just a really fun event.
Like that. Anything else? All right, we'll continue on with 9.02. This is the superintendent's report. So we'll turn it over to Mrs. Ronan.
Thank you, Madam President. Well, Amber has already started the Dancing in the Spring theme. So in addition to the Bulldog Boogie, we have the Silhouettes, and they have been on an unstoppable journey, and I believe Unstoppable is the name of their show this spring. They've been doing, delivering incredible performances and earning some well-deserved recognition along the way. And also, I don't have a picture, but there was also a Valentine's Day dance at the Montessori, which was darling too. So we're doing a lot of dancing this spring.
And didn't that one involve like the entire families?
Yes.
It's like a family prom sort of deal.
I have a video, but I don't have pictures, so I don't have it with me. All right, then the next item is Adopt a Class. Siemens came to Norwood View Elementary, and you can see them working with the Siemens engineers on putting together electrical circuits, and they used it to turn on a light, make sounds, and run a fan. So they were very, very excited, and hopefully some of these young people will be our future engineers. So with that, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Ronan. I did make the Silhouettes, they called it a preview night, but Mr. Robinson explained that they had already done a couple of competitions, so it was just kind of like a parent show, but it was, I saw, it was fantastic in those yellow dresses and the other outfit that you see up there, the white pants for the ladies. I mean, it looked fantastic up on the stage. So I think they've had a great season, and I think their season's over. I would say try to see them, but I think that it's over.
Yeah, I think it's done.
But, yep, they did a great job this year. All right, 9.03, this is the Great Oaks report, so I will turn it over to Ms. Ballard.
Thank you, Madam President. All right, we had our most recent meeting at the Live Oaks campus. We got a chance to see some of the completed construction projects that we'd been working on recently, and their culinary students had the opportunity to show off their immense skills with a fantastic dinner under the tutelage of some local chefs who came in from the Kenwood Country Club to supervise and guide their menu. They even had a dessert that was like the liquid nitrogen. They dipped it in and froze the dessert
Oh, dear.
with fresh fruit. And it was such a cool experience. The kids had an amazing time. It was really cool to see that. Last week, many of us also attended an economic forecast breakfast hosted by the Claremont County Chamber of Commerce. They gave us an excellent insight on future financial planning through 2030, including housing, construction material costs, and investment potentials. We will begin a curriculum review in early April for several programs, including our ag fields like equine management, animal sciences, and veterinary assisting, as well as our Parks and Recreation program and probability and statistic courses. So much fun. Our student spotlight, we did have a Norwood student get highlighted for another award. Nevaeh Bowden from our Scarlet Oaks Health Technologies won third place in the healthcare photography category at HOSA recently and is advancing to our state competition. So congratulations to Nevaeh. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you, Ms. Ballard. 9.04, this is Norwood Community Television, which is my committee. Tyler just wants us to know that they will be streaming the orchestra concert at 7 tonight. So if anybody's watching online, just keep on watching, and you will get to see the orchestra perform. All right, 9.05, this is the OSBA Legislative Liaison, and we will go back to Ms. Ballard.
Thank you again, Madam President. A lot of these items were budget-focused, and a lot of things will be coming in April for that. They're supposed to be doing a vote, I believe, on the 8th or 9th on some of the biennial budget items, so we're going to be keeping a watch on that. They also had testimony given at the end of February on the governor's executive budget proposal, which is House Bill 96, which provides a sort of level of funding for our technical schools. So this is more for the Great Oaks side. And they estimated $23 million for fiscal year 26 and 27 to be shared across all technical schools for the state of Ohio, which is a little bit of stability that we're anticipating, but unfortunately falls short of the rising demand that is also being placed on technical schools as those career fields are growing. Enhancements are being requested, and they are discussing things with the state and trying to work out something that will help to modernize the equipment, attract more skilled teachers in those fields, and better align with the training that regional employers are demanding from our students. We are strongly supporting these types of programs, and also the College Credit Plus programs from our high school partners as well, because the students are facing wait lists in many of their career centers and job placements through their local high schools. So we're trying to help bridge that gap and work on community-focused programs in the high school to work pathways that we are creating, which Norwood does have a wonderful program like that. And that way we can guarantee all students the ability to pursue a training field that best fits their goals. So I will continue to monitor the rest for finance, but that kind of concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Ballard. 9.06, this is Avenues for Success, and I will ask Mrs. Rarica for an update.
Thank you, Madam President. Avenues for Success is a program we all love here at Norwood, and that is a program paid for by a government program. So now is the time, if you have feelings about your after-school program, to contact. Now, the other thing I told you about to contact people, that was a state thing. This is federal, so you want to contact your Congressman Greg Landsman and your Senators Bernie Moreno and John Husted on Avenues for Success. If you love it like I do, you can send them a postcard, call. You don't even have to talk to anybody. You just leave a message and say, we love our after-school programs. Keep them going, please. Please support, or whatever you feel you need to say. But now is the time to do that.
Thank you, Mrs. Rarica.
Oh, yes, that's it.
All right, item 10 on the agenda, this is our future meeting notifications. So our committee meeting will be held on, I guess, I'm assuming that's a Tuesday, April 8th, at 6 p.m. in the Board of Education office on Williams Avenue. And then our regular board meeting will be Thursday, April 17th, also at 6 p.m. here in the high school mini auditorium on Sherman Avenue. Do I have a motion to approve the future meetings?
All motion?
All second?
Any discussion?
I
Madam
will-
President, I would ask that the board consider adding a special meeting on April 8th so that we can approve the contract for the Williams bidder and the notice to proceed for Perkins Carmack. The notice to proceed is very important in the construction world, and it gives them the opportunity to then go ahead and order materials and things. So it will be helpful if we could get that done on April 8th instead of the 17th.
Okay.
I will not be here on April 8th.
Does anybody have any issue with having a special meeting on April 8th?
No. And we know you support the program too, so we've got that opinion in mind as well. Michael's supposed to be here that day.
Yes.
Okay.
If not,
But
we'll
we-
still have three,
I just
but
wanna make
yes,
sure, yeah.
he should be. Mrs. Camp House, will we do that shortly before the committee meeting or after? Does it matter?
I think it would be better just to have it following.
Okay, so
the committee.
keep the 6 o'clock start time and, okay. So we will add that to this, the April 8th special meeting following the committee meeting. Anything further? All right, Mrs. Camp House?
Ms. Ballard,
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica,
Yes.
Mr. Atwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes. All right, moving on, item 11, this is our executive session. In accordance with ORC 121.22G1, the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, or the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual. And also, in accordance with ORC 121.22G81, the information is directly related to a request for economic development assistance that is to be provided or administered under the statutes set forth in Revised Code 121.22G81, or involves public infrastructure improvements or the extension of utility services that are directly related to an economic development project. Do I have a motion to enter into executive session?
All motion?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mrs. Camp House?
Ms. Ballard,
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica,
Yes.
Mr. Atwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes, the time is 6:47 and we are in executive session. The time is 7:38 and we are back into regular session. Item 12 on the agenda is a letter. So at this time, I will turn it over to Vice President Atwood to explain this section.
Thank you, Madam President. So the purpose of this letter is kind of a recap and an ask to City Council that resulted from the meeting, the joint meeting that we had with 2 Board of Education members, 3 council members, and a few other people that were sitting in the room that were not elected officials. So we had a very vibrant and constructive dialogue with the city. And so as a result of that, I wrote a letter with the assistance of our legal counsel that we discussed in executive session. And so now I'm asking that we make a motion to approve this letter so that it could be officially sent to the city.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Will you be reading this at the meeting next week?
My plan is to attend City Council's meeting next Tuesday and read this letter in their public comment section.
Thank you.
Anything further? Mrs. Camp House?
Ms. Ballard,
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica,
Yes.
Mr. Atwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes. All right, with that approved, item 13 is adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
All motion?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Enjoy the concert.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The time is 7:40. We're adjourned. Thank you.